exciting prospects in African football these days. And again, a side with lots of talent and experience on the bench. We look at the likes of Abdul Idil Kayembe and of course
you can see that bringing McCowan to the field, he knows the dominance that the Senegalese pose in the midfield and in the central midfield. So he's coming in there, but he controls the ball pretty well. He distributes very well, and he's a very hard-working player.
We are ready to get underway here in Tangier. Senegal in the white, DR Congo in the blue. Almost surely the match to decide who will finish top of this group. Senegal, of course, hoping to stay here in Tangier where they're comfortable. All three of their group games being played at this venue. DR Congo traveling from Rabat where they beat Benin, and they'll go back to the capital after this for their match against Botswana, their final group game, which will be played on Tuesday. So here we go, almost immediately an opportunity for the Senegalese, onto the right foot. It's over the top. Well, that was an excellent chance for Sarr. You wonder why he hesitated a little bit on the left.
I think the decision making, he should have taken that ball and struck it, because he shoots pretty well, but sometimes he never expected to get that chance in this early stage.
Well, had that gone into the back of the net, it might well have beaten the record for the quickest goal in the Cup of Nations finals, set back in 1994 by Mansour of Egypt against Gabon. That would have been had that nestled in the back of the net, around about 20 seconds from kickoff. Good opportunity for Senegal in these early stages. So a settled lineup for both of these teams after victory in their opening games. Of course, vital to get 3 points under your belt in the first game, and you've got a bit more freedom today, tactically and confidence-wise.
It is that pressure, first game for always like that, the major tournament, just pick your 3 points and then ease up. We've seen teams with 3 points, qualify. You can see how, the Congolese are set up, with the 4-1-2-3-1, up front.
This is the 17th meeting between these two sides. Senegal's coach, Pape Bouna Thiaw, a 44-year-old, of course, who was a member of the squad in 2002 when they reached the final, lost to Cameroon on penalties in Bamako, Mali. He also went to the World Cup. Now, is that a foul? And ball, says the referee.
Yeah, he got this spot on. And it's always good sometimes to see, the call comes out as soon as possible.
Sadio Mane, an incredible 6 Cup of Nations. 2015, along with Idrissa Gana Gueye, was his first edition.
And those are 2 players that, always, stay healthy and keep fit. You never see them miss games for club or country. That's the tussle I'm talking about. That's what I want to see. That's what both teams miss, in their first game against Botswana and against Benin. You can see, the tussle now in the midfield. Everybody just trying, to get the first contact on the ball.
Gone over the head of Wan-Bissaka, out wide to Mane. Good running on the overlap from Jacobs. Tries to pull it back. They'll get the corner. Comes off from Wanda. Jacobs these days with Galatasaray. This is the Congolese coach, Sébastien Desabre. He's one of the few who's managed to hold his job from the last Cup of Nations. I think the other one is Hugo Broos from South Africa. And of course, they got to the semi-finals in Côte d'Ivoire. And he's taken them to the cusp of a first World Cup appearance. We'll see how they do in those qualifiers in March.
Always one area. Both teams always know there's always straight threat when it comes to set pieces, and you can see how they are tussling with each other.
So Aku back in defence here as the curling ball evades everyone, really, but there was a foul. Chancellor Bemba who went down, and it will be a chance for DR Congo to clear their lines. In fact, the 2 captains tussling there, a little push in the back from Koulibaly on Bemba.
two very experienced, countries. Players have to have this in the back of their heads. You cannot get away with anything now because VAR is always there to catch the one.
No, but Kambu does well. Early ball inside. The chase is on for Elia. And Eduardo Mendy, I should say, gets an early touch.
I talked about Jacob earlier, the Galatasaray young man. He was very outstanding in the first game.
Jackson looking to find Jacobs, cut out by Wan-Bissaka. Now, good pressure on for Iliman Ndiaye. Some clearance from goalkeeper Pasi. Good tempo at the start of this game. Oftentimes we see when the big teams play, they're a little bit cagey in the beginning, just feeling each other up, and yeah, they're getting stuck in.
This is the African Cup of Nations. We play different.
Koulibaly in possession for Senegal. As we mentioned, 99 caps. So the number 100 if he plays in the next game against Benin. Maybe if they win today, Senegal might rest a few players with an eye on the last 16. As we mentioned, the group winner will stay here in Tanger for the knockout stage. The first match, in fact, in the round of 16 is at this venue. Early next week. Oh, excuse me, next weekend. We're 7 days away from the start of the last 16.
Christmas turkey, Mark.
Exactly.
Christmas turkey.
All that sugar. Now, Diatta. Turn from Sarr. He's got so much strength. Kambu all on his own with Koulibaly. That's going to be an interesting tussle today, but Kambu has got a wonderful first touch. Lots of experience, of course, plays in La Liga. Was in Turkey last season.
When a player plays in La Liga, you know how technically skillful he is, and if you can't hold the ball, pass well, awareness of the field, it's very difficult to start in a La Liga team. When you look at the midfield, man, you can see how 3 Congolese players are right there. They don't shuffle out; they stay there waiting for any ball to anticipate.
Sabi getting it out wide to Ishak Elia. Well, Zebe, of course, plays in the Premier League in England. This season with Burnley, was relegated in the last campaign with Ipswich, but switch of club means he stays up in the Premier League. Former Man United man. There's another one who used to play at Old Trafford. Well, that's Mbembo, who was, of course, at Newcastle. I was referring to Wan-Bissaka, who's usually on the right-hand side there.
Well, Sebastian Desabre has done a wonderful job with this team. When you've seen Congolese play in the last 2 years, there's a different when he took over. They thought they're running the hustle and all that. Now you see them technically, they build them from the back, get the ball to the wings, get it to the midfield, and wait for the right opening to go. And that's why he was, nominated as one of the best coaches in the continent.
And lots of experience with his team. This is his 42nd match today in charge of Congo. It's not often a coach gets that sort of longevity in the African game.
Right, but you can see why. From the way they play.
His counterpart, Pape Bouna Thiaw, is taking charge of only his 12th game today. He took over from Aliou Cissé last year, around about 14 months ago now.
I was talking to our French commentator earlier about the coach, and he was telling me he's Hervé Renard, protege, because Hervé introduced him when he came to African football.
CAF President Patrice Motsepe is in the house today, and behind him, of course, the General Secretary of the organization as well. This is the schedule for the CAF President. Tries to get to as many games as he can. Shot is into the side netting from Jackson. 2 goals in the last game would have been a big confidence booster for Nicholas Jackson.
He will get those chances, he will miss those chances, and then he will score those chances. He's a player that, as a striker, a young man who is learning, you let them know. Get those chances, even when you miss those chances, keep going, and you will hit the back of the net eventually.
Zeme loses out. Jackson, very quickly they've got numbers back behind the ball. DR Congo. Diatta with Sa. Diatta has had his injury problems over the last 2 seasons. Monaco right back gives the ball away though to Mutusami. Samuel Mutusami playing in Greece these days, but had a great career with Nantes in the top flight of French football. Here's Elia. Former Marseille. Inside from Elia. Looking for Mutusami. Cover comes from Koulibaly. Good pressing there from Bakambu. Wins possession away. Referee says.
The way he launched in, modern football, you don't, those are never allowed. As fouls that we saw yesterday with the hands, we all know the rules of the game. When your hand, smack somebody on the face or your elbow, automatically with the law now it's a straight red card. Launches like that, you have to be extra careful because if a VAR had a sneak on something, then you are gone.
Yesterday, of course, lots of VAR interventions, but fair amount of criticism, although vast majority of those decisions absolutely correct. If you
when you play this game as a player, as a coach, you should know the law of the game. For the fans, they know, but they will always be fans. We had our own arguments in the bus coming in, didn't it?
Yakite out wide. Mane chases on here. Ishmael Jacobs gets ahead of Wan-Bissaka. He has the square ball. Bemba clears it away.
That's my only flaws with Jacob. He always get ahead of the man, but he always forget that I'm ahead of the man. Let me have an extra touch because then I'll be fouled. That's Awilo. And you know who Awilo is?
Awilo, right? Absolutely. Why are you asking me that? He was the guest announcer, by the way, before we went on air. He read out the team sheets for the crowd, and very well received.
Well, do you know how to wingle the Awilo dance?
Now, Sa. Elia takes it away. Mutusami. Bakambu chases on here. Elia out sweeping. That's a good challenge from Mutusami. Winning possession. Now, Gonda, a little pass from Sadiki. Doesn't find his man.
That's unfortunate because that was a good break and would have easily been danger for Senegal.
Senegal unbeaten in the last 11 meetings between these two countries. You've got to go back to the early 70s for the last time the Congolese had success over Senegal. As we mentioned earlier, this is the 17th meeting between these two countries. Mane into the middle, header away. There have been 7 wins for Senegal, 4 for the Congolese, and 5 draws. Into the World Cup qualifiers.
That's a risky play.
Yeah, Ganagay looks a little bemused, but decision goes DR Congo's way.
And he was very lucky because he lost that ball. If the referee
lost the ball. That's the right.
They were Senegal was 3-on-1 on the Congolese centre back.
Bemba. Masuaku playing at forward. He, of course, is one of 6 players from the Premier League club Sunderland. They're the European team who have the most players for the Cup of Nations. I'm sure their fans will be watching tonight. Gonda at the back post. Lays it back. Has a great chance.
Yes! Yes!
Not going to count.
Oh my God!
So presumably Bongonda offside with a header, but Wan-Bissaka denied a first goal in Congolese colours. Let's have a look here.
Yes.
It was way offside.
That'll be bitter disappointment for Wan-Bissaka. Just a moment of celebration, and then the realization that it was offside. Same for the coach, of course.
Yeah, but he's on the bench. We have the luxury of seeing the replay before him. But when you see, it's good to see a wing back finding himself in the 6-yard box to hit the target like that.
There was a little bit of a check from the Algerian referee before play resumed, but confirmation of the offside against Bongonda. But Kambu was also offside, although not involved in that action. Now, Diata on this right-hand side. Masuaku, the defender, ball inside for Jackson. His first touch allows the Congolese just to get numbers back again. This is Papagay who runs things in the midfield. The man from Villarreal in La Liga. Garnegay from Everton. Nice touch. Jackson out wide. Little ball from Sarr to Jackson. Discipline defensively here from the Congolese. Everyone back behind the ball before they spread it out wide. Jacobs. And again now.
You have to look at the movement of Macau. Macau, on Sarr. Whenever the ball drifts wide, he drifts. Whenever the ball's going, he's drifting back into the midfield. And I think that's why, Sebastian brought him into this game.
Well, Sadio Mane down, but the referee says play on. Wait to check on Mane and then carried on with the game. Mane in the meantime up very quickly as well. Garnegay finds Jacobs. Tempo's gone down a little bit now as they're sizing each other up. I think mutual respect all too evident at the Grand Stade de Tanger on this Saturday afternoon. Clearance away by Mutusami. Yakite from Olympique Lyonnais in France. It's Bakambu. Finds Bongonda. Now maybe something on the counter. Needs a bit of support here. Bongonda will get the free kick. Garnegay. No sign of a card there.
He got away with it. Okay, it wasn't intentional, but a trick from the back on an attack normally ends you, on the books.
Only picked up a single card in the previous game. This is just confirmation of the offside line against Bongonda. I don't think there was any doubt that that was not going to count, that effort from Wan-Bissaka. So the free kick now for the trip on Bongonda. Mendy was sorting out his wall. Elia will play it square. That will be a throw in.
That's a training ground routine, but unfortunately they didn't get it the way it has been going on the trainings.
Coach de Sabre, 49-year-old, lots of experience on the African continent. First came to coach at ASEC Abidjan in 2010. He's had a previous national team job with Uganda and a lot of club jobs across the continent. Esperance of Tunisia, Wydad Casablanca, you'll know the conditions here in Morocco well. Now, Wan-Bissaka. Is that a corner or a throw-in? I think a throw-in on the far side. Yep, the linesman gives us confirmation.
Why screaming?
We've seen 29 goals scored in the first round of the game. 2 more than the last edition, the first leg of games.
You're doing your homework, that's very impressive, sir.
I need to step up my game.
Yeah, you can put it there. They want to go in the 24.
That shows you how our African football is growing every day. All our stars are coming to play. See, all the stars that you know have scored in the first round of the game. From the Malik, the Salah, to the Ibrahimas,
Yeah, certainly,
the Fosters.
certainly gone with form up to now.
Yeah.
Whereas in Cameroon, they one edition back, There were so many upsets, and of course, in the Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire last time out, the first round as well, littered with surprise results. But yeah, the big boys have flexed their muscles nice and early.
Yeah, last edition I think we scored 100 plus, isn't it, for the whole tournament.
Bongonda sneaking down that wing, and he gets the foul. Belgian-born Bongonda comes from Charleroi. It has had a career in La Liga, was at Celta Vigo and Cadiz, and now at Spartak Moscow in Russia. His third season. Senegal's coach was a squad member more than a regular when they went all the way to the quarterfinals of the World Cup, and it was him who supplied the goal for Henri Camara that saw them win in the quarterfinals in Asia 2002. So he has a special place, Bouna Thiaw, in the Senegalese footballing history. Here's Papagay now. Mane. 50 goals, by the way, for Sadio Mane in Senegalese colours. It's a very impressive international record. Nicely worked from Jackson. A touch from Ismaila Sarr. Masuaku will clear it away. Gay again. Now Jacobs. Yes. Sarr turns, and again, not that comfortable on the left, to the back post. Sane.
Bobima.
Jacobs. Sadio Mane.
Like you rightly said, the tempo has really gone down. The Congolese, they're just sitting back now, allowing the, Senegalese to just keep passing the ball side to side and just, put pressure on them.
Hoping, of course, to catch them on the counter. There's quite a bit of pace about this Congolese side. Bongonda, we've seen already with 2 runs down their right. There's Jacobs. Manindai looking to get things going. Good turn from him. On the edge of the area. Here they come. Sadio Mane's taken over. Spray ball, Jackson. Oh, he's put it wide. What a chance there.
What a chance. What a chance, what a chance, what a chance. They did everything right. The combination play between Mane and Diana, and then, pull back, but unfortunately, Jackson couldn't hit the back of the net.
The strength there of Njai and Sadio Mane with a wonderful pullback. Jackson on the left foot, in between the 2 defenders, inches away. Of course, he's moved this season to the Bundesliga, Jackson, with Bayern Munich.
A controversial move. End up at the airport. They phoned him to come back. He said, "I'm not going back because I know I don't have my place." And he's doing pretty well. He's playing, coming off the bench, scoring when he starts scoring for Bayern Munich.
I suppose at a relatively young age, it doesn't hurt you to have Harry Kane as your
Mentor.
teammate and mentor.
Yeah. Diaz is there. They're packed with stars of players that you can really learn from.
Sadio Mane, of course, played there after he left Liverpool, now in Saudi Arabia. Gana Gueye for Senegal. Midway point of the first half here in Tanger. Diakité was the former French junior international. He'll get the free kick.
I would think teams should emulate what Mali did in the game against Morocco, the host yesterday. Because they didn't sit back. They went toe to toe because they know they have the talent. And you have a good depth on your bench. Bringing those players off the bench, and they continue where they stayed. And if Congolese can go, they have the quality. Why sit back? Why don't you push forward and see what you can come out with? 3 points can make you get you into the next round anyway. Before the next game against Botswana, which you already know in your head, maybe you're gonna end up picking 3 points.
And Bemba feels he touched the ball there, but that's going to be a free kick against him. Yeah, the Morocco game with Mali ending in a 1-1 draw, and certainly a good second half performance from Mali. It felt perhaps 1 or 2 decisions could have gone their way. They might well have upset the hosts.
Yeah, some quality, breaks, in the second and in the last 5 minutes of the game, which unfortunately decision making and good defensive work by the Moroccan centre backs that stopped them from going ahead.
Close is close, you know what I mean?
Great fans in African football, but I'm not sure how long that gentleman can hold that pose. Passy is the goalkeeper, 30-year-old, who this season has moved to Le Havre in the French First Division. He's never played a game in the First Division in the career over a decade. But he might get a chance this season. He's been the backup goalkeeper so far at club level. Now it bounces around and it's missed again. This time Ismail Essa. The defence got themselves in a bit of a mix-up there.
They did. The cross came in, and unfortunately, they both went for the same area ball, and the ball sat very, very well for Sabo. What is Sa thinking about? That's definitely the net should have purged on this time. I just hope that it doesn't bite them, towards the continuation of the game.
2 good chances in the last couple of minutes for Senegal to open the lead here. There is this little bit of a confidence advantage they have over Congo, having come from 2 down to beat them away from home just 3 months ago.
You will expect, with this opening and those chances, the quality that Senegalese have on the field, they will definitely gonna create those chances.
Gana Gay. Out wide is Jacobs. Now, delivery, headed back by Sa. It will fall for Sadike, who finds Elia. Burst of pace here from Nishak Elia. Needs to be done by Koulibaly though. And the whistle sounds, it'll be a free kick for the Congolese. And the first yellow of the game will go to Papa Gay.
I'm just waiting to see the replay, because it's like he had his foot on the ball.
Well, he looks a little bemused there, Papa Gay. Now this is Elia. Koulibaly with the initial challenge. That might be a little harsh on the Senegalese.
Yeah, definitely. Because he got his foot right on the ball, sometimes, you fall a victim, and sometimes again you have room to to appeal, and then the card get withdrawn. It's good to see family and friends hanging out and having fun in this beautiful stadium.
Home support as well. Morocco with 4 points from their opening 2 games in Group A. They finish on Monday in the group phase against Zambia in Rabat. We'll be looking to make sure of their place.
It's a viral picture video going around about when Nigeria played Tanzania. A guy and a female who were exchanging number, and then they wrote underneath it, in 12, 15 years, they will have a dual nationality. One will probably play for Tanzania or for Nigeria.
Masuaku inside here to Mutusami. Gets past one challenge, gets it wide to Bongonda. Might be a little too strong from Mutusami. A little uncertain what to do. He glided past the defender and so many options, including maybe having a bit of a shot from range, and instead overcooked it to Bongonda.
Yeah, definitely. As a blue shirt, when Saka was beside him, you can just roll it, play 2-1 and get the ball behind, Koulibaly. But unfortunately, decision making, I keep repeating that word, in our African football, we're really struggling on that.
This is going to be a throw-in for the Congolese. Inspirational captain, fantastic there, Chancel Mbemba. Got the winning goal against Cameroon in the closing stages in that World Cup playoff. Remember, they were here in Morocco in November.
Yeah, the experience, that you have. Koulibaly leading the Senegalese and Mbemba leading the Congolese team.
And of course, Mbemba got the decisive penalty in the shootout against Nigeria as well in the playoffs. Well versed with conditions there in Morocco, having had 2 matches last month. The Congolese. Here comes Senegal now. Jackson. This is Jacobs. Ghana Gay. Gay made his debut for Senegal in 2011. 14 years now he's been an international, 122 caps.
And a regular. And then tried as much as possible not to miss any game. Very disciplined tactically, discipline in the head, as a human being.
Well, besides 1 or 2 punches on a teammate, but
yeah, but they had a rematch on the training ground. When a player like that, when one incident like that happens, something spices it up, because it's a player that is always quiet, calm. You never see him in any tussle. I think the whole world was surprised what really happened.
half an hour gone here in Tanger. Manzebe in a little bit of pressure there from Manindai. Passing forward. This is going to fall for Mane. Jackson leaves it behind. Cleared up by Mutusami. Elia. Riding forward now was Bakambu on side. It wouldn't have batted.
Captain, fantastic. Always there, to do the dirty job.
There he is again. Coming to Koulibaly. Mane, lovely ball in for Jackson. Good sliding challenge from Chancellor Mbemba to cut that out.
Mbemba.
To Marco. It's a return pass. Wan-Bissaka. Now, was there a little touch there from Jacobs? No. Linesman says goal kick.
Good defensive work by Jacob. We saw that he overran the ball and then, he just shielded him up.
Was that earlier chance, Jackson. Ball just kind of sticking there for the big man, but lots of defensive attention for him too. You can see, of course, the fans all mixed up in the stadium here. There's no Congolese section or Senegalese section. Nice to see that atmosphere of bonhomie.
That's what football brings.
Good cross. Mutusami to clear. Elia. Not been much for Bakambu up front to feast on.
He's a handful in the Bakambu. He never allows, defender to have a breather.
Yeah, a storied career as well. He's at Real Betis this season. Senegal, by the way, 1 loss in their last 29 internationals. It's a very impressive run of form. That defeat was by Brazil just last month in the friendly at the Emirates Stadium in London. DR Congo coming into this game unbeaten in their last 5, 4 wins and a draw. And the draw was against Nigeria. Of course, they went on to win on post-match penalties there, so they'll be full of confidence too. Yakute, this might fall for Elia. Neatly done by Ghana Gay. Saw the danger, got there quickly.
And, the draw against Nigeria was even meant to, because the game shouldn't have gone to penalties, because they dominated the game when they need to.
Jai.
Sadiki will clear only as far as Diata.
Well, the Congolese feel it's their throw in, but
It looks like.
Bakambu told to back off. The linesman flagged it for Senegal.
It looks like they got away with that. Nah, they got it spot on. The lineman got it spot on.
Now, let's see what Koulibaly might be able to set up here for Senegal. We've had 35 minutes in this first half, another 10 to the break. Jackson, Gay, out wide is Diata. With the right foot. Turning towards Mane at the back post. A little touch in there for Jai. Gay, he's got a powerful shot. Now, free kick for Senegal in a very good position. And a bemused look there from Mutusami. What's there, a handball in there?
Right, I'm waiting for the replay to really see what happened.
Set piece opportunity as we approach half time. A fortuitous 1-2 for Senegal. And they keep up their scoring form. Let's have a look here. Mane played it back in. Difficult to figure out, Daniel.
I couldn't see what really happened. There is. He thought it was a handball, but you know, the ball struck him on his feet. So maybe there's something else that we didn't see. But if they end up conceding a goal here, it will be a very controversial goal, isn't it? There are talks that VAR will come into play in most of the plays now, from corner kicks, throw-ins, and incidents like that. But now it will just end up making the game be stopped so often. But it's better for them to go to the VAR and for you to consider goal where goal shouldn't have been scored.
Well, let's see what Senegal do here. Mane is over the ball along with Gay. Koulibaly's now joined Sadio Mane. He's passed a little message that came from all the way from the goalkeeper Mende, who might know something. Sadio Mane is wide, curls it just wide of the right-hand post of DR Congo goalkeeper.
He caught everybody, unaware. We all expecting the ball to go to the right. Even the goalkeeper, you can see he's cooked, towards his left hand, but then the ball went to the right hand.
And again, another opportunity that sails by the post of the Congolese. Certainly now, Senegal have had the better of the chances. And it's DR Congo had the ball nestled in the back of the opposing net. One of the Sucker's effort ruled offside. Here's Elia. Now, what can he conjure up? Little cross inside. Bongonda's at the back post, so is Jacobs.
They're always there for their second ball. That's something I'm sure that they really work on, and it's very impressive to see. You want to win games, always get your second ball.
Oh, there were two chasing there. Kusami and Bongonda, who said, leave it to me. Now, Bakambu. Asuaku finds Elia. Check Elia. One is keeping Mazembe in the old days of glory for the team from Lubumbashi.
Senegal's turn, to sit back and allow, the Congolese to keep passing the ball around and look for the opening.
Asuaku's shot was straight at Ismail Sarr. That's a little too strong for Sadike. So 40 minutes gone, 5 to the break. Still no goals here. This was always going to be a tight affair between these two.
The sun is coming out, but he's still getting down to the field. It's good to see everybody warm on the field.
Immaculate playing conditions, it must be said, across Morocco for this tournament, ensuring best playing facilities for all of the teams concerned. Cross into the middle. Bemba with a clearing header. This keeps coming back from Senegal. Here's Koulibaly. Referee, having thought about that, has given Bakambu the free kick.
Got it right. And Gay thinking, what can we do next?
A little touch in the back there from Gay's foot, but
yeah, that's a foul.
it took the referee a while, and he blew for Cedric Bakambu. Up and ready to resume. Now Bongonda on the right-hand side. Away he goes. Little burst of pace. Still he keeps going. Has he got the free kick? Foul by Sadio Mane. He's probing down that right-hand side, Bongonda, throughout the first half.
Yeah, a beautiful run, from Lusaka. I think he should have, rolled the ball behind the defense for him. He got speedy, but you can see how frustrated Sebastian was, because that was the decision. He should have, rolled the ball behind the line, and the Wan-Bissaka would definitely be there. And we know how, he talks the ball back from crosses and stuff.
Looks as if Masuaku's gone to take the free kick. Lots of blue shirts in that penalty area. Looking to maybe get a little touch in there. Big frame of Mbemba. Comes off the head of Nyakite. Sadiki with Ismail Sarr, who clears. Mane winning the challenge there. And Jai with his strength gets ahead of Bongonda. Suddenly Senegal on the attack, but Sadio Mane has a look up. The decision is a corner. Oh, they had to chase all the way back, having pushed all those players forward. A luck-busting run back down the field for many of the Congolese.
Both Congolese and Senegalese, it was a very good break. All the lungs will be popping right now, but it was a beautiful swinging ball from, Osiaku, but unfortunately there was no Congolese player to get behind that.
Crepin Diata with the right foot will curl this away over the head of Koulibaly, and the foul by the Senegalese captain. A little pushing there from Koulibaly. We were going to have a free kick here for DR Congo.
Hope nothing serious, the captain. That's a foul any day. And I'm coming down, you can see Koulibaly stepped on his lower, his Achilles, and that would definitely be painful.
It's an aerial view of this magnificent venue. The stadium is already earmarked to be used in the 2030 World Cup when Morocco co-hosts with Portugal and Spain. They've yet to decide where the final will be, and there'll be a fair amount of jostling, you would think, between Casablanca, Lisbon, Rabat, Madrid.
We are well overdue to have a final in the African continent, isn't it?
Bongonda. Now Jackson gets stuck again for Jackson as well though. Mane is onside. Ball's in play as well. Mane will attack. Easily done by Sadio Mane. Now, Jai, Papagay! Oh, just turned around by Mpasi.
Beautiful save by Mpasi. Strong hands. He saw the ball all the way coming in. But that's a good things like plays like this you expect from Senegal. A good break. Sane made that run. Took the player on one-on-one. Left him for dead. And then unselfishness, laid the back on Fadian, and then he did the same thing. And oh, what a save from the goalkeeper.
Left-footed effort by Papagay. Left Marseille at the end of last season to play for Villarreal. 2 minutes of stoppage time added on at the end of the 45. We're into stoppage time now.
Statistics, 40, 45 minutes, always a goal always comes in. The high percentage. So defenders have to be wary, because when you go to sleep through, something like that, there should be a good break, from Congo.
Here comes Elia. Needs a bit of support. Masuaku.
Captain, fantastic. And he went in for a cross to score, made his way back. Before he gets to his own position, you have to help the midfield stop that attack. And he's doing very, very well in Al Hilal in Saudi Arabian League.
A couple of nations for Kalidou Koulibaly. This is going to fall for Bakambu, Akil, Sadiki, Elia, Masuaku, Bukal, the 21-year-old from Lille in France, who is the only change in the two sides for today's lineup. Senegal keeping an unchanged outfit from the team that beat Botswana in their group opener. And of course, Congolese won against Benin, just the one change there with Bukal coming in for Edo Kayembe.
You can see his knowledge of the game. Centre backs push in, then who becomes, the centre back. He drops into that space and then wait for play. When the ball was switched, then he moved into the attack with the team. It's a good inclusion in the team.
Right, on cue, the end of 2 minutes of stoppage time, and we hit the half here with no goals in this Group D encounter.
The way it's going, definitely we're going to have goals in the second half, but it's good to see, the Senegal, they didn't hold back. But
We'll be back after break. Togozong après break.
We know that they can go gun blazing, but they're holding back.
We'll be back after break.
We hope that a game of this caliber doesn't end up on the spoils of 0-0.
So, two sides into the change room. We can confirm the half-time score here at the Grand Stade de Tanger. It is Democratic Republic of Congo 0, Senegal